Jeepers Creepers was released in 2001, and it stars Justin Long and Gina Phillips, and they star as a brother and sister driving home through an isolated countryside from college, and they encounter a flesh-eating creature in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree. I'm actually glad you requested me to review this one because I always love this film, but it's also simple. So I didn't really have to work that hard on my script.
Honestly, I didn't either.
Because boom, boom, boom. There's 3 acts, and there's always this small situation that goes on, and then it goes to a different situation. There really wasn't that much going on.
There really is.
It's a simple premise, but yeah.
Let me tell you. I really wanted to do it because we're leading into the Halloween season. Now, I really want to push the channel up. And there's not too many reviews of Jeepers Creepers on the internet, so I thought this would be the stands came in clutch, man.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, there's not too many videos of Jeepers Creepers out there, and I thought it would be cool to do one.
Yeah, and I think a big reason for that.
There's a big reason. We're busting our balls to give you content over here.
Listen, people. Listen, we understand the controversy around this franchise, and we're kind of separating the art from the artist. I mean, he's not the only person who worked on this film. There's a lot of people who worked on this film.
There's a lot of good law-abiding citizens in this country who worked on that film.
Yeah. One being...
It just so happened that one of them's a big, giant piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a big piece of shit. And fuck that guy.
Big. You're more of a big, giant piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
No, but, we're gonna try to keep from talking about the controversy and talk about the art. Like you said, separate the artist from the art itself.
Yeah. When was the first time you've seen this movie?
I saw this... I'll say 2013.
2013?
Or 2013,
really?
Yeah.
When you first heard about the first Jeepers?
Well, I've heard of it before. I was younger.
Yeah.
I was more into different movies, as you know, like Scarface and stuff. And I watched it with my other brother. And I ended up thinking the movie was good. But now that I go and rewatch it, I don't think it's as good as a
So you think it kind of went
I think it went down, and that's not because of my opinion on the creator himself. This is my opinion on the movie itself. There's a lot of filler scenes and scenes that are just, they don't really belong there. I don't think so.
I love this movie. Well, I love the second one more, but this one always had a special place in my heart in the horror genre.
Yeah.
Only because it doesn't do too much. It's very simple.
It's very simple.
The performances I thought the performances were very strong. The chemistry between Justin Long and Gina Phillips as the siblings were so good. And their chemistry, they actually improv a lot of the scenes. Not coming from the director, not coming from the director who was also a screenwriter.
Yeah.
A lot of the lines from these actors were actually
improvised. Really?
Yeah.
I had in my notes here, it says a predictable and cliched plot.
Yeah.
The killer, he comes out, kills people, and then leaves, that kind of shit. It happens a lot. And you see it a lot in mainstream slasher movies like Halloween. He comes out during Halloween. Pretty much the premise. Right. Jeepers Creepers comes out every,
23 every 23 years, he gets to eat.
Yeah, he gets to feast on your soul.
And the thing is, every 23rd spring,
Is it?
He likes to eat people's body parts, whatever he has interest in to grow, make him stronger.
He's got a weak throwing arm. He's going after Tom Brady.
He's going to take Tom Brady's arm. But okay, let's see it from this perspective. Imagine you didn't hear anything about this film, and you went in empty blind.
An empty slate. Got it.
2003. You put this movie on your TV, and then it comes on. You don't know what it's about, and the film progresses. First, it's a road trip movie, then some mystery, and then it transitions to a slasher / monster. And that's one of the things I like about it, is because at first, which was one of the few times I've seen it and remember watching it, the siblings are just having a fun road game, making saying these license plates, making up names, and then this guy comes out of nowhere with his truck and his loud horn, and they witness him putting stuff down the drain. At first, you don't know who this guy is. He could be a regular guy, and then as the film progresses, you don't even see what he really looks like until the cat lady scene and stuff like that. But yeah, like the mystery aspect of it, I thought was pretty darn good, especially when they reveal his wings. Like, oh shit, this motherfucker could fly.
I don't think so. I think the beginning was. I think it's one of the best parts of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that good. I think there's a lot of flaws in the beginning.
Yeah, it's interesting because the first act, like, it was actually based on a true story on this couple that lived in Michigan.
Yeah.
They played a game of making up words and phrases based off of license plate numbers and that they had seen on the road. I guess they were visiting family or whatnot. Yeah. And then they get cut off by this green truck with the letters GZ on its license plate.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then later on in that day, they pass a schoolhouse and they see that same green truck and they see him messing with these bloody sheets. And that truck spotted them, noticing that they were looking at him, and he chased them off the road moments later, just like in the film Jeepers Creepers. That couple goes back, just like in the movie, which I thought was a dumb
terrible decision.
Terrible decision.
First of all, there's a guy who is dumping bodies, which you believe they're bodies. Mind your own damn business, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you're seeing a real crime. Just call the cops, dude. Right? All this is happening. He sees you. He runs you off the road, and he decides to go back to the one place that the guy knows. You know, he's obviously very familiar with the location, and you're not. And you decide to go back to a potential crime scene.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up to me. I think the stupidity of the characters, especially in the beginning.
I won't deny that. That decision was very dumb. Like, and then it ended up being his eventual demise. The brothers.
Yeah, it's just a D.
Derry. Derry's his name.
Yeah. I think she got her brother killed.
She did?
She got her brother killed. And we'll get into that during the, when he's in the cell. The police are there. And they're all around him. I think she got him killed in that scene. But we'll get to that. Obviously, back to the opening scene. They're driving. There's a lot wrong with it. How many cars you see with vanity plates while you're driving down like a deserted road?
Yeah, you're right.
It's these little things that really get to me. Other than that, I think the movie is, I think it's a good watch if you're just getting into horror, mainstream horror. If you're getting into like horror, like if you're like what is it? You know, local people making movies, that kind of stuff. I think that's a good place to start when you start watching horror.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is a good mainstream starter. This one in like Halloween.
That's true. I mean, I actually love the aesthetic of this film. Like,
It
feels very late 90s, early 2000s. It kind of brings you back to those early days of sci-fi.
Yeah, it's gritty. It's really gritty.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's dirty and stuff. And all that transfers into the the look of the creature. The creep. The creeper.
The creep. Which one?
But you can't deny he is a badass looking antagonist. He's so cool. He looks so cool.
Yeah,
down to the truck that he drives, dude.
The makeup,
everything about it looks awesome.
The makeup, I think the guy who did the makeup got a award for the second film.
I hope he did. I really hope he did.
The makeup looks great. And speaking of the creeper himself, who's portrayed really good by Jonathan Breck, who plays the creeper, like the mannerisms.
He's a massive individual too, dude.
The facial impressions that he does, smiles. He doesn't even have to talk. Like, no, he doesn't. And then
it's all in the teeth and the eyes too. Dude, the eyes are freaking, and the little things that come out of his face.
They look so good, dude.
I don't even know what they're called. They just
like some cockroach thing.
I love that shit. That kind of shit in horror movies really tickles me, man.
That thing was practical too, the way it came out.
It is.
You just hear it's like
the practical effects from the gore and all that kind of stuff are really good in this movie. It really. I prefer the gore and stuff in this one over gore, like in Kick-Ass, as I talked about last time. I didn't really like.
You're a big fan of practical gore.
Yeah,
and I don't blame you for that. Practical gore is like 10 times.
Unless you're putting like CGI blood and shit, like in Pray at Night.
Pray at Night.
But
you're always gonna bring that movie up for CGI blood. We're simple stabs to a screwdriver and a freaking knife. But they go back to the church, and this dude gets in the pipe.
Yeah,
he goes into the pipe and then he falls. But I like that shot where he's falling down.
It's real nice, yeah.
Yeah, and then he sees that dude who's like stitched up and pale.
Dude, yeah,
he delivered pretty good.
The scares in this. Some of them are spot on, and some of them are just lackluster.
What'd you think of the House of Pain, where he's tying his shoe and then water drips on his shoe and he looks up and you just see all these stitched up bodies on the walls and stuff like that.
I had a note in here about that.
I love the fact that I love that detail that he was telling the police about the bodies, how they look like they were preserved.
Yeah.
I thought that added a pretty disturbing factor to the bodies themselves, because I mean they're practical bodies. Like they're not, of course, they're not real, but they can't pass as fake, because that's a good excuse for it. They're preserved. They look like petrified wood. So I think that added a lot of disturbing factors to that.
I added here. I have a note here that I put. There's a scene where Trish and Derry stumble upon a disturbing room filled with human body parts. Instead of maximizing the horror elements, the film inserts awkward and misplaced humor between the characters, effectively diluting the intended impact the setting should have on it. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I have that I don't agree with the movie, is that there's a lot of scenes in it that are just, they're mishandled on a horror stand, scenes, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying.
The rules, the rules a little bit.
Yeah. There's and it's not just in Jeepers Creepers, obviously. I honestly, I don't really want to be saying the name, but I'm saying it. There's a lot of scenes in the movie where it's supposed to be scary, but it's not.
I think
some of them in a good way though, because that scene with the bodies, the bodies look so good.
It's sort of because you don't see the creeper as its final form at that point, so you're just seeing this stuff and it's like, this is sick. Like who the freak would do this kind of thing?
And I like the idea of them doing that on a human.
Yeah,
doing that on this mythical beast is, I don't think it's a good idea. Waiting to build, I think they build it up too slow.
Yeah, seeing the film now, which was one of my negatives with the film, is that it starts to take this little dip
a lot
towards the end, because you're building up this creature and then at the end it's just he's just coming to chase him because there's nothing else that's happening.
Yeah.
But one scene in particular that I thought was what you were saying, it was supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
Was when they went to that cat lady's house.
Yes.
And he's jumping over the car, doing flips and stuff.
That's just weird.
Parkour. Dude. The wire, you can tell that's wire work. I mean, at least it's not CGI.
But there's nothing wrong with wire work. But doing it in a scene like that where it's not really.
If you got the dude who's supposed to be this.
Do it.
Yeah, especially if you
never in the movie has he shown that he's this crazy athletic guy.
Yeah,
there's a lot of characters that do some crazy shit in movies like this, where they look like Jedi, but they're obviously not.
Yeah. One scene, when they go to that cafe.
Yeah.
And
they're screaming.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
they're really loud.
They really are. And they don't explain what the hell's happening. There's a guy chasing. He runs off the road in the truck.
Somebody's hurt. Somebody's hurt.
They don't say that. They don't say shit like that. They just say, "Call 911. We need help." They're not expressing,
But moments later, when they're being escorted by the cops.
Yeah.
And then you just see that shot of the creeper on the car behind them as they're talking in the car. It looks so sick with his cape, just his cape, but his clothes just drifting in the wind.
Right, it's a trench coat, right?
Yeah, it's like a trench coat.
Yeah.
Oh, and then what he does to that cop is so
wild.
Oh my gosh, that's sick, dude.
The gore in this movie, I'm telling you, is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I the practical effects artists, all those kinds of people deserve a shout out.
Yeah, for sure,
because of what they did, and they're looked down on only because with the person who made the creator or whatever, what he did, the people who deserve recognition, they don't get it. They really don't.
Yeah, like you said, the special effects department.
Yeah, dude, they deserve
an award, dude.
They deserve to make another movie.
A raise.
All of them together, just put them somewhere, dude.
I mean, the movie was
for its time. It's really good.
Okay, let's be honest. The directing and writing is
it's not very good.
It's not.
The character development shit.
It's very redundant if you think about it. We've seen this plot play out many times.
And like I said, in Halloween and stuff, all these mainstream horror movies, this is no exception of what it is. It's a product of, what is it? It's a product of bad writing. That's what it is. It's a product of terrible execution.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that can be really good, but have terrible execution. One of them is, when I hate to say it, because I really love Army of Darkness,
Mhm.
but it shies away so much from the previous two that sometimes it gets me out of it. It really does.
Yeah,
But I love that movie.
that has a lot to
obviously.
do with the tonal shift too. Like
Yeah.
different vibe, different film, different everything.
I have here that the pacing in the movie, it's strained.
Mhm.
It's pulled, and it's not like coherent. It's not like a clean like.
Like I said, like it's like 3 different chunks
Yeah,
that are like played out differently.
they all feel different. Like they can be their own movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, at the same time, they're movies you want to see.
Yeah.
All of them put together, they make for a entertaining movie, but they don't make for a good movie or a great movie. It's okay. I
The
think
Creeper
it's
is
okay.
such an iconic
Dude,
character.
he's such an iconic.
So good.
He's on levels of like Chucky
Yeah.
or
Dude,
not Jason.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I saw this film as a kid, it kind of got to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like it actually scared me.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty scary.
But I think the scariest part of this film was the end. I think the ending was very like
You think so?
shocking. I thought the ending, the
That was
film's
pretty
ending
good.
was shocking, dude. Because like when I was a kid, I watched a lot of those early 2000s comedy movies, and a lot of them had Justin Long in them,
Yeah,
like
and,
Dodgeball.
and still today, movies like Tusk or
Yeah,
what was that?
Barbarian.
I was say Airbnb movie, but yeah, Barbarian.
Yeah, dude, seeing him go out like that,
Yeah.
it kind of gave me chills, and like, especially the way he went out, like the camera's like it's pushing in, and you just hear his screams in the back, and then the creeper's just like working on
Doing
some
his thing.
project,
He's doing his
he's
thing,
doing
man.
his thing, and then he passes him naked, like
yeah.
it's so disgusting, dude. And the practical dummy that they had for Justin Long was just so gross.
I've
Dude.
always wondered why he threw the bodies away instead of just eating the flesh and just.
I guess he didn't need them. He was using them as trophies, I guess.
Yeah, it's true, and I think it takes a lot of his energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
we're trying to, but yeah, there's a lot of scenes in this movie, and one of my favorite ones. I don't know if you know it, but the when he jumps in and he has Justin Long's character in the jail cell, and his sister's on the other side of the bar. She
Oh,
can't do
yeah.
nothing. All the cops are surrounding him.
Oh yeah.
And she's begging. She doesn't show any fear, but she's telling him, "Take me, not him." I think at that point the creeper.
Knew he made his decision.
Yeah. She's not showing, and he pretty much hunts on fear, right?
Yeah.
So he sees there's no fear in her, but this guy, he's trembling and he wants help. He wants his sister's help. He wants to get out of there. So the wings come out, dude. So
Looks
cool.
good.
It's so good. He flies on the moon, and he takes off. Oh, dude. Oh my god.
But also going back to that jail scene, like there's a part where like he's limping in there, and then like it goes to where those cops are going to the cell.
Yeah.
That he's chewing on the prisoners more. If you pay attention closely, you can actually see the zipper on the creeper,
Really?
like of the suit. Yeah, you can see
you
the
put that
zipper.
in.
Yeah, I will.
You
can see the
I didn't
zipper.
know, dude. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Holy shit.
It blends in real well.
Yeah, it does. The creeper in this movie is just really good. I can't praise it enough. I love the way it looks.
Yeah, one of the reasons why Jonathan Brett got the part because of his audition. Like he was acting like the creeper
Really?
without the makeup.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like I saw the audition tape, it was pretty creepy. But also very like awkward. Yeah, those practical what is it, tentacles on his head or
I don't even know
something?
what they're like horns. They have little horns.
Oh, it was like a little cocoon because like I know they close in the second one. They close in the second one. I know that. I'm all trying to do it. I'm like,
I like doing it with the Predator, man. You know, the Predator. It reminds you so much of the Predator.
oh yeah, little hooks.
Ironically, Predator and Creeper kind of
Yeah, dude.
kind of remind me of the creator himself.
Even like, yeah, when you search up the cast of this movie, you can see like there's 2 people labeled as the creeper.
And then the creator's one of them.
Creator's one of
For
them.
good reason too.
Piece of shit.
Fucking goddamn. Man. But the dialogue in the movie freaking kills me.
Oh, yeah.
Every time, dude. I watched the movie twice. I watched it once at work. I watched it again when I was at home, and man, I was watching it. They just seemed odd. There's just something off about the dialogue in the movie. I thought I had examples here, but I don't. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
there's just something robotic and just off about the tone of the characters in it.
Even with the improv too, like I feel like the director was a little lazy on the writing, and so he was like telling the actors just like work with what you got. Like one scene in particular is when they're driving on that road, when the creeper's on the cop car behind them. When Justin Long hears a song, he just rants. He's like, "This is the song. This is the song. This is the song. This is the song." And the sister's like, "What? What song? Like she just didn't hear it like a few moments ago." He's like, "That's a song. That's a song." But Creeper makes out with that cop. That was sick. And then like moments later, when he opens the back of his truck, dumps the body in, and then closes the door, but then opens it again and throws that in there. After eating its tongue, like I guess he needed a new tongue.
You know what weird dialogue? The psychic, when the girl sees the psychic.
Yeah.
She's trying to tell him about the danger and stuff, what's to come. Dude, she just seemed, I don't know, the dialogue, what she was saying, that way she said it.
They don't have a reason not to.
Weird.
Dude, they don't have a reason to not believe her.
They really don't.
If she knows,
they've seen shit, dude. By this time, they've already seen shit.
If she knows that I have a tattoo of my belly button, I'm not gonna be like, "Fuck you, lady." Like, dude, how do you know that? Like, dude,
the characters in this movie are off. There's something wrong with them.
I feel like
I don't think
it was on this like stable like wire. Like they were trying to like keep the story progressing.
Yeah. They're on a thin wire.
It was on a thin wire, yeah.
It's real stretched out to the breaks and everything just starts falling.
Then again, the budget was also constrained too because there wasn't much they could do.
True. It's the first time.
Look how simple
more character, right?
Like, look at the settings that are in this movie. Street.
It's like us going out and just filming. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a simple premise with simple locations. Like,
yeah.
There's like 4 or 5 locations in total: police station, a cafe, and outdoor streets. Like, really, that's it.
I have here questionable choices. The character's decision making in Jeepers Creepers often undermines the logic of what's really supposed to happen. I think they make terrible. And we talked about this earlier. The characters, I don't know. I don't think they're smart, and they're in college too. You would expect them to be at least a little.
Honestly, no, I don't. There's a lot
really?
of kids in their 20s, dude, are freaking stupid. They're dumb, dude.
Oh my god!
I know for a fact there's a kid out there who would go back and see. Like,
you think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But how the actors are portrayed, them in particular don't seem like they would do that. But then they do it, and it's like you're there to visit your family. Why are you doing that?
Do you think in their mind they're questioning the choices? Like,
I think the sister made up her mind. She was like, no, I don't want to go over there. But he was like, what if it was you down there? Like,
what if it was you?
Trying to like manipulate her into like going. Like, this dude really wanted to investigate. Like, he ended up paying the price for it.
Yeah, he wants to see something weird. But yeah, man, there's a lot about this movie that it tickles me in a good way. There's a lot, and I'm not being non-biased here. I'm being honest with you. A lot of the bad things I blame on the guy,
the director.
Yeah,
I mean that's a valid reason for it,
and a lot of it is specifically for directing too. There's a lot of shots in this movie, the choices they make. It's camera angles and shit. There's only a few that really stood out to me. That's pretty much when the creeper's on frame.
Honestly,
on the screen. I think the only good
like the first 15 minutes, really.
The first 15 minutes, that's the car scene all the way up to the diner. Mm-hmm. I think all that stuff, it's pretty decent, shot pretty well. The creeper, when he's doing his things, whatever he's doing, I think it's shot really well too. Especially when he's flying out the police station or when he's dumping the bodies in the storm drains or whatever.
Or when he's standing like a scarecrow.
Yes, dude.
That was pretty cool.
See, there's not too many shots in the movie that I'm like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever.
No,
there's not a lot of that. I don't think so. And
Like the cinematography was good,
was
and
decent. It
the
was
director
decent.
had nothing to do with that. Well, he's telling the cinematographer, but the cinematographer is doing his own thing. So
yeah, but yeah, going on to the ending. I don't think the ending was.
I felt the ending was very fast.
I think it was lackluster.
a little bit.
I have here too. Man, if I can find it. Jesus.
I like how he's just sniffing him through the glass while they're like trying to like move, and then he just crashes through the window.
I have your wasted mythology and background. The film introduces intriguing hints at the creature's origin and a rich mythology surrounding the existence. However, instead of delivering diving deeper into these into like the creepers like origins and stuff, they just I don't know. And I saw online too that it goes all the way through all the movies.
Yeah, it does.
They don't give anything about him. Like Michael Myers was, the embodiment of evil, death, and all that kind of stuff. But you still know you still knew who he was or what he was.
Yeah.
They even showed at the beginning.
The third movie tries to hint at that.
The
big
third
time.
one. Is the third one good?
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but we definitely have to like shit on that one someday. But like going back to the origins things, like how you brought up the movies throughout, they try to explain it.
Do they really?
And they always fail. And I'm not even that interested in it because they started making him look like this like super villain.
Really?
With daggers and stuff like that. And I just think that's stupid.
I know there's.
It even bothered me a bit in the second movie. Like I did not like it. I like the Creeper as a mystery. That's why I like the Creeper. I didn't like how his origins were starting to peek through. Especially how it was trying to be like especially how they were trying to explain it in the third film. I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Man, it's kind of disappointing too because he could have been one of the best like creatures. I'm not saying like villains, but creatures of all time.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
he's obviously one of the best looking ones. I really like the design, but
It's a dope design.
I don't think he's on par with creatures like the Predator or Alien, stuff like that.
No.
In terms of like actual fear factor and character. Because the Alien, without speaking a lick of English, is probably one of the coolest looking, one of the scariest creatures I've ever seen on film. This guy, he's scary, but
he's like a small scale kind of monster creature.
Staying in one little town and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Dude, imagine you went to like a big city. Flying through the freaking between buildings.
Imagine seeing that guy. I see him fitting in New York.
You really do,
just
like
chilling
a
with the
gargoyle.
big ass rats, just chilling with them.
Like a giant gargoyle.
Right? Yeah.
Giant gargoyle. Jeepers creepers. I don't know, man. What do you if you were to compare this movie with all the others, because I know you've seen all the others, what are you ranking this one? Without what this is your first time watching any of them.
Dude,
what are you putting them at?
So here's the thing. When okay, so it's always gonna be the first two.
Okay.
The other ones are fucking garbage. I do
How
not
many
like
are
them.
there?
There's 4 in total.
4? Oh.
Yeah, but the 3 and 4 don't count.
Yeah.
Like those movies are so bad they don't even pass as
Did they go to direct DVD?
Huh?
They weren't direct to DVD, were they?
I think
Because I know you saw one in theaters.
the third one was a one night release. It was in theaters
You
for
saw
one
it,
day.
right?
I saw it. I don't know if I should save it for the
No,
review or
because
say it now.
I know we're gonna do the movie, so I think you should save it.
Save
A
it.
little surprised if you want to know what it is, and it's.
I'm gonna
super
flame the fuck out of Jeepers Creepers 3, but surprisingly, Jeepers Creepers 4 Reborn
Yeah,
is actually worse than that one.
really.
Yes, it is. I just think Jeepers Creepers 3 is so bad because of the experience I had with it,
I think-
especially looking forward to it, leading up to it, and then going to see it in theaters.
I think they should have went the route that like Child's Play did, go straight to DVD,
Mhm.
just make a few bucks off of that, and then like one like wide release or something. I think that would
Yeah,
work.
I don't know how Jeepers Creepers Reborn has a few releases in theaters across the world. It's like shot on an iPhone, dude. It's that bad. Even the edit. Oh, I can't want to flame those. But going back to the first two, I love the first two,
Yeah,
but I love the second one more.
yeah.
So this one's like right under it. But yeah. But yeah, this films like this, these early 2000s horror films, they bring me back to this era that's like
It's
it's
the
like
nitty gritty in horror.
like the age,
It's like,
yeah,
like you're in the mud, you're in the dirt, you know. You're either watching like a really cool Saw movie or something. I know those came out like
yeah, like this
around
one,
that time, around this movie too.
yeah, both of the first two, they used to come on Sci-Fi a lot, and I would, if I would see them play, I'm putting it on, like I'm leaving it on. But I love the second one.
Man, but movies like this really, man, you're either watching like a really cool like masterpiece or something, or you're watching some shit movie.
Yeah,
It was always like that. I think the 2000s were interesting for horror movie and television.
Mhm.
There was a show that I used to watch called Lost Tapes,
Lost Tapes. That sounds so familiar.
or like 1,000 Ways to Die, shit like that.
Oh my
Those on,
God.
like Spike TV.
oh,
shit
yeah,
like
Spike.
that.
Yeah, AMC had a lot of good stuff rolling on,
AMC.
especially during October.
Yeah. I don't know, The Walking Dead was later released, like 2011 in October.
Was it 2011 or was it 2010?
It was 2010, 2011, somewhere around that time. But yeah, that show went on forever. And it's still going on too.
That's
with,
crazy.
like side shows and shit.
I remember watching it the day it released.
I did too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I really did.
I think it was on Halloween.
It was.
Yeah.
So, you got a 5-star rating
For the Jeepers
for
Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers
2001. I'm gonna go with 3 stars.
3 stars.
2.5.
I went 2.
2.5.
2
3.
stars, and not including with the, all that shit, the controversy. I put 2 stars. With it, 0.5 star, just to be nice, just to give the credit to the people who actually made the movie.
Yeah.
So I have here, in conclusion, Jeepers Creepers disappoints on multiple levels, making it difficult to recommend as a worthwhile viewing experience. The film suffers from really bad tone, blending horror and unintentional comedy in a jarring manner. The poor dialogue and characterization hinder the audience's ability to really connect with the characters and really invest the journey that these characters are going through. Furthermore, the questionable choices made by the protagonist, which there are a lot of questionable choices. There's so many.
Popcorn movie. Just put
It's
it
a
on.
popcorn movie.
Put it on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Pop it in. It's
Watch it on
fun.
Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a really good Halloween one.
Throw it in there on the Halloween marathon.
And I'm really happy to say that this is the start of our Halloween marathon.
Oh yeah.
It's
Coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers fails to deliver genuine scares, relying on cheap jump scares rather than building suspense and capitalizing on intriguing premises.
But delivers a pretty awesome character who's iconic and has a lot of good makeup and special effects.
Oh, dude, yes.
Yeah.
You can't leave that out, man. The people who worked on this, you can tell they tried their hardest. They really
Yeah,
tried
they did.
something. It leaves the audiences with the unsatisfying and unfulfilled feeling.
Pretty mixed. I can see
The
that, yeah.
ending really is, to me, it's not really
Lackluster.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh.
lackluster at the end of it. And I know you like it, and
I like it.
understandably, it looks good. It sounds. I really love the audio in the movie.
Yeah, going back
It's
to
great,
it.
especially the truck when it's moving up closer to the car and it's running them off the road. You can really feel the intensity. I think that's the only point in the movie where it's really intense, where you actually feel, the characters are actually scared or something.
It's weird because whenever I pop this movie in, most of the time, like so whenever I watch this film, I never finish it.
Really?
I never finish it.
Really?
Every time I watch it, I never finish it. And it's about the time where it reaches the cat lady. It's around that time where I stop watching it. Because I know how it's going to end, especially the ending. That ending really affected me a lot as a kid. Like, it really disturbed me. So, like, even like a few nights, I started the movie 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And I stopped it.
Really?
I stopped my review. I finished
No
it.
way.
I finished this morning. I don't know. This is the only movie where I do that. This is.
It's like you're in school, they put a movie on, and you watch, 30 minutes in class,
Yeah.
and then come back the next day. and the teacher totally forgot whether you were on, so you skip like 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, but the ending to me was very effective, but just don't make dumbass decisions and you won't have to worry about that kind of stuff happening to you. So, I mean, he did it to himself.
I recommend to stay clear of Jeepers Creepers in favor of a more accomplished horror movie, stuff like that. But if you really want, like you said earlier, good watch.
Yeah, I think a big thing.
Don't let me, don't let critics tell you or stupid movie reviewers tell you.
Yeah.
To watch and what not to watch.
Yeah.
You're a free American. You can watch whatever you want.
The big thing about these first two Jeepers Creepers movies are the nostalgia. Haven't you noticed? There's a lot of people who are nostalgic with these films, especially the second one. When we were in middle school or high school, we'd go on these bus rides.
Dude, we're always talking about this. Do you remember
Jeepers Creepers references throughout those?
Do you remember
trips.
the trip to UT Austin?
I do remember that. When we went on that field trip,
there was only like 10 people on the bus. This big giant bus.
There was a Jeepers Creepers reference
all the freaking time, dude. We stopped at Buc-ee's and shit.
Yeah.
I was constantly looking out the window waiting to get pulled out of the damn bus by a giant pedo in like a trench coat.
I'm not gonna lie, we were pretty big middle schoolers. We'd be hard to carry. I was big as fuck.
Look at us now, dude. Damn, son. Well, you know what? We're making money though, so.
Yeah, the Creeper would have a hard time falling off.
Yeah, still have a hard time with the 10 Mountain Dews that we drink.
They put us good on that field trip.
But yeah, man. The movie it's a good watch for a horror movie night on Halloween. Other than that, I don't think it's worth watching. I really don't. And that's not because what happened. This is my honest opinion on the movie itself. If you want to watch good gore, if you want to watch good practical effects, yeah, you can watch it. But for storytelling and stuff, I don't think it's that good. I think you have a better chance of going on the computer or like ChatGPT and creating your own story.
There really isn't much story, but it's more like a chain of events that unfolds.
Just stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't happen honestly, I don't think it happens naturally. I think it just happens.
What do you rate it? 2 stars?
That's it. Yeah, 2 stars. I give it 2. And that's excluding what happened. But what happened, I gave it a half a star. What do you rate in the comments, guys? Because I'm happy to say that we kind of have a little fan base going on.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, and I'm loving it. But I mean, if y'all even want us to review the sequels to this film, or
if it's too uncomfortable for you,
we'll stop right here. I don't mind. I mean, I'll review Jeepers Creepers too. Those other ones, if you want me to review those, I'm flaming the fuck out of them.
Yeah, that's pretty much just going to be what happened with the Strangers.
Yeah.
Get ready for a freaking campfire. We're going to flame the shit out of those movies. I've never even seen them, and I already want to flame them.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
All right, so should we end it there?
And there, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm Steven Goins.
I'm Matt Lopez.
This was Primetime Flicks.
And make sure to subscribe. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
for tuning in.
Thank you. And again, drop the movie you want us to review, and we'll see if we get to it. I've seen a lot of cool movies I really want to watch.
A lot of good movies.